Bong, bong, bong. That's our new theme song.
NBC's.
That's our theme song.
That's NBC.
Bong, bong, bong.
That's illegal.
And then the other one we were going to do is a gung gung. That's Law and Order. But
Yeah. Okay. Boom, boom. Yeah. That's
Bum,
Law
bum.
and Order. Yeah. You can't do either. That is on NBC.
bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum. What if
Maybe
you combine
if you
them?
combine them. Yeah. Maybe
so
if you
it's a whole
combine
different
them,
thing now.
it's legal.
Yeah. So that's our new theme song.
I love it. Can't get it out of my head, honestly.
I remember I'd asked people to come up with a theme song for the Dollop a long time ago, and I feel like people were fucking with me.
What, did people say they would?
Some people sent some okay stuff, but yeah, some people sent stuff that I was just like, what are you doing? Are you...
Mocking me?
I was just like, are we in a fight? Are we having a fight? This episode of The Dollop is brought to you by Noise. There's a contractor here in the house, and he is under the house, and he
Shirtless.
is bang. He is shirtless today. He hasn't been shirtless yet.
I'm a big fan.
Today he's shirtless. He's
Is he
very
ticklish?
tan. I don't know if he's ticklish. I
hope
haven't
he
gotten
is.
down there, but there'll be some tickling later.
Whoa.
I had a soundbite for this.
Bum, bum, bum. You did it.
No. I had an actual thing on my phone that I should probably go grab.
Oh, okay.
So, Gareth.
Yes, that's my name. Yes.
Gareth.
Yes.
It is Gareth.
Yes. TH at the end, not Gary, Gareth.
Okay, so I'm here with Gary.
damn
it.
Damn it. You had it.
I'm Dave Anthony. I'm here with Gareth Rini. This is the Dollop. It's a dollop is like a little thing. It's a little tiny bit of history. It's a little tiny.
A taste.
And every time someone says, here I drew you a logo, it looks like a pile of shit.
Dave, your appreciation for the fans
you can make a dollop look like a little dollop of whipped cream, or you can make it look like a giant dump. And everybody makes it look like a giant dump.
They're thinking of the dump lip.
And I don't really want a dump as my logo, but I appreciate the efforts.
Yeah, clearly.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's right.
A lobotomy
Sure.
is a psychosurgical procedure in which the connections of the prefrontal cortex and underlying structures are severed, or the frontal cortex tissue is destroyed.
Ugh.
It's not showing up on the sound, so we'll see if that actually shows up. But right now it sounds like he's under the house with like one of those, when you go to the fair and you hit the weight and it goes up to the top.
Ding.
It sounds
Yeah,
like
we're just missing the ding.
It sounds like he's smashing the house with one of those.
He's training. Fair in 2 weeks. I'm going to win that fucking bear.
I'm going to send this house up to the roof. What?
Nothing.
Or the frontal cortical tissue is destroyed, the theory being that this leads to the uncoupling of the brain's emotional centers and the seat of intellect. So it makes someone like joyfully stupid.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Is that it makes you...
You remove...
You're like...
the good and the bad. Baby and the bathwater are
Remember when
gone.
stuff bothered me and now I'm like... curtains.
Hey, why did I end up in this psych ward anyway?
You gotta be shitting me. You guys come on fucking Fridays.
You got a real...
We're gonna have to wait this out. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
All right.
How will...
Ugh.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So gardeners came. Well, they usually come on
Fridays.
Friday, but apparently they believe in the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Which is nice. They've taken on the partying aspect of their new country.
Yeah. Fair. I do that.
Yep, I do it too. If I was down in Mexico, I would be like, Cinco de Mayo, motherfucker!
This means everything.
The lobotomy was first performed on humans in the 1890s.
Okay.
So for my...
Fairly recent.
No, that's not. Is that right? Yeah. So in my mind, that's just I just picture that as a beautiful surgical time, the 1890s.
And in the person who's been lobotomized mind, they picture clouds.
Okay. So this is so weird. In the 1930s, the procedure was pioneered at that time by a Portuguese neuropsychiatrist, Antonio Moniz. He began performing lobotomies after hearing a speech by 2 Yale neurologists who had been performing the lobotomies on chimps. So you see the jump?
Yeah. But, so he really liked that speech.
He was like, man, that was great. I love how the monkeys, after you cut their brain, they just lay there.
Yeah.
I know some people that I don't like.
They like bananas and bark the same amount now since we lobotomized them.
Well, listen, so this is from the report. The chimpanzee went to the experimental cage, which is a cage where they can fuck around with stuff The usual procedure of baiting the cup and lowering the screen was followed. If the animal made a mistake, it showed no evidence of emotional disturbance, but quietly awaited the loading of the cups for the next trial. It was if the animal had joined a, quote, happiness cult.
Oh, my God.
And had placed its burdens on the Lord. So...
What a bunch of bullshit.
So so basically it was like a screaming monkey.
Yeah.
And then they went in and they were like, what if we cut its brain up? So they went in and they sliced some of the brain parts, disconnected some shit, and then went, look at how happy he is.
He doesn't mind anymore.
As if you haven't just scrambled his brain.
Yeah. You know what we've done is we've removed that emotional part. No, you've taken most of his brain out. So he doesn't feel anymore.
You separated his brain part so the brain doesn't work.
Oh, look, he's fine when the basket spills. He just wants it filled up again. He's like, duh.
It's like he doesn't give a shit about anything. Why not? Duh. That's why. So after hearing the Yale neurologist speak, Moniz asked if the surgical procedure would be beneficial for people with otherwise untreatable psychosis. The Yale researchers were shocked by the question. They were like,
in the back.
We're fucking up monkeys, dude. What do you want to do?
Think we can take this to the human level. Am I right? Guys? Hello?
Hello, is this on?
Is the mic not working?
The mic is on, correct? They were like, yeah, we're talking about a monkey, bro. So together with a colleague, Alameda Lima, they operated on the first patient 3 months later. So they took 3 months and they went, let's fucking do this shit.
Summer break.
We got to do it. I mean,
we've been talking.
How long are we going to talk about this?
Literally months. Two of them.
I want to get into a fucking brain.
I can't wait to take that guy's brain out.
So he started doing lobotomies. In all, he did 50 lobotomies.
That's a lot of brain.
Oh, it's so not a lot.
I don't like that.
He used a special knife and he severed brain connections. So they would go into the frontal cortex and they sever it from the rest of the brain, kind of.
They keep it in.
Yeah, it's there.
They just cut it.
Yeah, they just cut. It'd be like if they went into your leg and just cut the knee.
Oh, cool.
So the bottom half of your leg would look like it was having a lot of fun.
Look at how much more he likes sitting.
Oh my God! Do you see how his ankle is just so happy and blubbery?
He loves sitting more than ever. Have you noticed that since we cut his tendon, he's just a big sitting guy?
So in some cases there were improvements in behavior. In others, there was no noticeable difference.
What?
Now, I know. That's the one that I can't even remotely understand. There were some people that they did lobotomies on, and they were like, all right, thanks, Jim. I'll see you next week.
I'm still kind of pissed about you doing that. Shit, it didn't work. The first one that happened with that, they're like, what the fuck's going on over here? And how do you feel when I poke you? Kind of angry. Don't do that, asshole. Jesus Christ.
He's not like a monkey at all.
Boy, we need to get the monkeys back in here.
And in other cases, the symptom being treated became markedly worse.
Oh, good.
Can you imagine that?
Good. That's good.
Okay, perfect.
So in other words, lobotomies are a real crapshoot.
Yeah, it's like a
brain crapshoot. Brain roulette.
Hey, you want to play a brain lottery?
Hey, no. I like my brain.
Later on, he received the Nobel Prize for Medicine for his innovations in neurosurgery. So he got
lobotomies? Is that his main?
He got a Nobel Prize for coming up with lobotomies that someone else was doing on monkeys.
For taking an idea, he heard it as speech and doing it on humans.
Yeah.
Cool.
But he did advise extreme caution when using lobotomies and felt that it should only be used in cases where everything else had been tried and the person was basically a maniac.
Yeah. I mean, these are mostly institutionalized people that are getting this procedure. Yeah.
Enter America.
Oh, boy. Good God. Of course.
Hey, who can make this worse? Oh, we do that with everything.
Enter the big swinging dick with the small brain.
Walter Freeman.
I'm nervous.
Dr. Walter Freeman. Freeman was born in a family of medical tradition. His grandfather, W.W. Keene. W.W. Keene is one of the best fucking names.
W.W. Keene.
W.W. Keene.
I mean, he's so close to a website.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What, do you sell shirts?
Go to Keen.com. What the hell are you talking about, WW?
He was, at the time, he was America's foremost surgeon. He was like the top surgeon in America. And then Walter's father was also a well-known otolaryngologist.
Oh, yeah, the guy who created lung cars.
Otolaryngologist.
Lung cars.
Otolaryngologist. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, lung cars.
What?
Lung cars.
Okay. Are you saying words?
Yeah, never mind.
Lung?
Yeah, it sounded like lung cars. I think you were too deaf to hear the great timing the first two times. So now it sounds crazy. I agree.
Yeah, the guy came up with lung cars.
Yeah, the guy made lung cars.
I'd say ear, nose, and throat guy, but back then they called him some giant name that made everyone pissed, and finally everyone just went, what about ear, nose, and throat? What about you call yourself that?
Well, fine. You want to take the shine off it.
Ear, nose, throat doctor. So that's what we called him. So congratulations to your big bullshit word. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Let's take it down a notch.
Yeah. That's not, yeah, I agree.
So Walter graduated second in his class. So like he's the third generation doctor. Second in his class in medical school. Won the prize for the best undergraduate research published in the archives of neurology and psychiatry. So he's a fucking coming out hot shot.
Up-and-comer.
A hot shot.
Yeah.
Hot shit shot.
Yeah, he's a shit shot.
Okay, now mental institutions back then, very different than now.
How so, Dave?
Well,
they were more understanding, right? Be straight with me.
Everyone had their own room.
Yeah, everyone. It was more about talking than drugs, right, Dave?
Yes, that's exactly right. No chains on the wall.
Nothing.
Overcrowding was common. Hospitals struggled financially. They didn't have enough money. They were understaffed. Like it was, they were a nightmare.
We'll be there soon again.
Or I hope so. And then they had no idea to treat the people, so it was just a bunch of crazy people bouncing off walls.
Yeah, you just picture One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So maybe worse.
Worse, much worse. Not as funny.
No chief.
So, the situation was made even worse after World War II when all the vets came rolling back and they had all their problems. And then in 1946, Life magazine went out and did like a picture, what do you call it, a pictorial essay sort of thing. And the photos look like concentration camps. Some of the hospitals just look horrifying. So people were pretty freaked out, and they were looking for an answer.
Okay. Oh, boy.
Okay, so...
Oh, dear.
Lobotomy was the perfect way to fix this because it took crazy people and made them seem like they were not crazy.
Docile.
Yes, that made them.
Lapdogs.
It's like cutting your dog's balls off or head.
Yeah.
But it did help some patients.
Sure. So why do you have such a mischievous grin?
Because it says it helps some patients. So I'm always thinking, well, yeah, you cut some guy who was blah, 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 and now he's not doing that.
Well, the thing is, you can't now ask the person who had the procedure if it did anything.
Hey, do you feel better? No, some people talked and stuff. That's what's the crazy about this is finding out about this is that some people then continued on with their lives and didn't have the reaction you would think, which is like from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Some people just kept going. So I don't know how you can have your brain severed.
Well, why does it work on some and it just doesn't work?
Maybe they didn't do a good job or they just didn't sever something that was
there is
important.
like one real sweetheart who's like, I can't do this. And every time he'd be like, I snipped it, sew him up. There's just this lobotomy doctor with a heart of gold that we don't know about.
Everybody happy?
It's everybody.
So while Walter Freeman was at St. Elizabeth's Hospital, that's where there were crazy people. He did not believe in psychotherapy. Okay. So Freud was bullshit.
Sure.
He believed that it was a physical condition that was causing these problems. right?
Okay, yeah.
So he didn't want to be
A
like,
shame for these people.
well, it ends up being true in the end.
Yeah, I guess,
Years
yeah.
later. So he was super into research that showed that the behavior that was changed by encephalitis and syphilis was a physical connection. So people who Al Capone had syphilis his whole life because he hated shots.
Really?
Yeah, so he eventually went crazy.
But he shot so many people.
But he eventually went crazy in Alcatraz because of syphilis.
Well,
he had like third stage syphilis where he was just like... And so that they knew was the brain was affected by a physical condition.
Right, okay.
So he believed in that research.
Okay.
And then he figured all the other things were the same. He believed that lobotomies worked because the procedure severed the connections between the frontal lobes of the brains and the thalamus, which seats human emotion, is what they believe. So all this comes down to is that they think like you're just too emotional.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're emotional, you're crazy. So let's remove emotion. We win.
Hey, you know the emotion part of you? We're going to get rid of that. Does that sound good?
What's the side effect? Most of your brain and thoughts are gone. You'll be easy to deal with, though.
Okay, so here's a little bit of a hiccup in the plan.
Okay.
Walter Freeman isn't a surgeon.
Okay.
So he couldn't legally start digging around in people's brains.
Right. Okay.
So he hooked up with a surgeon named James Watts.
Sure. Doc Watts.
Team Freeman Watts.
Yep.
And together they started doing lobotomies.
Oh, cool. Good cop, bad copping them.
Well, actually, first they started working on dead guys in the morgue. First they practiced on dead guys in the morgue, which to me is a weird thing.
What time do you want to meet? 9:30? When do you want to start?
But it's also like... So you cut into some guy's head and you go,
yeah.
Do you feel any different? Yeah. Are you still, are you dead still? How do you feel?
Good practice. I think this guy's emotions would be totally different if
hey, this
he was
guy's the
breathing.
same.
Yeah.
He's the same. This guy, we did this to this. Hey, look at him. Look at him.
Look at this guy.
This is how we want all the guys to look after our lobotomies. Look at his tongue out. Look at his tongue out.
He's cute.
He's got crosses on his eyes.
Oh, my God. He's adorable.
So, before this time, they weren't actually called lobotomies. They didn't have a word for it. So these guys actually came up with the word lobotomy. They were cutting up corpses, and they're like, "What do we call it?" I don't know. It was called like brain mixing or some shit. I don't know what it was called.
What? So wait, what is lobotomy? Do we know? I mean, what is it? Lobe?
Yeah, probably lobe, like the frontal lobe,
right?
And you're cutting the you're cutting the otomy out.
It would be great to have like the political shine that we have on things now.
On
that, you know.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like emotional sustainability. Some good old bullshit.
Emotional sustainability. Do you want some emotional sustainability?
Well, that
surgery?
Sounds great.
It
what
does
is
sound good. I'm going to cut into your head.
Ow!
You're better now. So their method was known as the precision method. So they created their own method that the other guys weren't doing.
Right.
So they would insert a blunt spatula.
Already a weird beginning to the precision method.
Blunt. Through the holes in both sides of the skull. So they cut holes in the skull, put this thing through. The instrument was moved up and down to sever the thalamo. God damn it. Thalamocortical fibers. Oh my God. Then... Boom.
And then what do they do with the holes? Caulk them?
Yeah, well then they put a little caulking in there. I guess if you cut the skull doesn't grow back, right?
I don't think the bone does.
No, the bone doesn't grow back. So you would, I guess, plug it up with some putty or something.
Oh my God!
Put a little putty in there, maybe a coin.
Hey doctor, you done with that gum?
Can you make it the exact size of a quarter? And then we can just go ahead and pop that in there.
We're doctors. Well, I'm not. I can't cut.
I'm more of an actor. So after they fucked up the dead people in the morgue for a while, they did their first patient, Miss Hammett, 63, who suffered from agitated depression and sleeplessness.
Wow, time to cut her brain.
Fucking cut that shit up. You know how you're sad and you can't sleep?
Cut the cord.
Cut that shit. They drilled 6 holes into the top of her skull and slice.
6?
I don't know why they did 6, but apparently they needed 6, so she must look great afterwards. According to Freeman, Hammond emerged transformed, able to go to the theater and really enjoy the play.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we know what that means, right?
Yeah.
She just sat there.
She liked lights.
Yeah, they just brought her in. She was like,
Pretty.
yeah.
Yeah.
And her husband's
Shocking.
like,
You drill 6 holes into someone's head. They like musicals.
they claim that 52% of their 623 first lobotomies yielded good results.
So 48% had bad.
I mean, if you're negative.
And I am. I'm going to be glass half empty with brains.
Well, then, okay, Mr.
Yeah.
Nay.
52% are loving it.
We're coming out on top.
By a margin of 2.
But what they didn't do was offer like a clinical yardstick for what was considered improvement.
Oh, good.
So they were like, yep, better than before.
Don't look.
Exactly.
Stay out of that room.
Well, what was she like before?
Stay out of that room. Please don't even look through that glass.
She
is better now.
Better.
Yes.
Yeah, what was
She loved the musical.
What was she like before?
Bitch. A huge bitch. An awful bitch. 6 holes in her head. She's happy. She loves plays.
Well, she's been staring at that chair for an hour.
It's a great chair. Get out of here and stop looking through that window.
That's exactly what it was. So over time,
Sure.
over all the lobotomies that were performed over all the years, a third of people are improved, a third are the same, and a third are worse off. So those are great numbers.
That's a terrible procedure.
Those are great numbers.
That is not good enough for this to be happening.
No, did you hear the part where I said 33% were improved?
Yes, and then 2/3 were unchanged or worse off.
Oh my God, you're such a negative Nancy.
I'm going to be negative. These are human brains.
I can't even believe that you don't want 33% of people to get better.
You know how I can get you to believe that?
Yeah.
Let me drill 6 holes into your head, and I can just cut this part, and you'll just buy all my bullshit.
The cool thing about a third worse off is that 15% of them were dead.
Oh, Christ.
So that's okay. That's a negative.
Although I will say they weren't as emotionally distressed after.
Hey,
so you could put them in the top category.
This one's not screaming.
Hey, this one's happy at the musical too. Others around him mildly disturbed. But he's loving it.
That's why musicals were so popular back then.
They were just Weekend at Bernie's, the fucking crowd. Bunch of corpses.
And with the surgery, you get to go see My Fair Lady.
Wait, there's more. If you sign up for a lobotomy right now, you'll get 2 free tickets. 2 free tickets to My Fair Lady.
Okay. But at that point, they said it was only 3% that were dying. But
they're fudging the numbers. But
they're fudging the numbers because later it came out that 15% is how many die when you do lobotomies.
Yeah, sure. Great procedure.
But here's the thing. Hospitals were all down for it.
I bet.
Because people were running around screaming.
Better
and they
work
had to
environment.
Tackle them in the hall. Better work environment.
Yes.
That's exactly what it was.
Yes.
They're tackling people in hallways. They're fucking putting straitjackets on people. They're chaining them to walls. They're chaining them to their bed.
Yeah.
Now they're just like, oh, you're just going to sit in that chair?
Yeah.
I wipe your mouth every couple
somebody's
hours?
really had a 180. You've gone from worst to first, my man. My drooling little amigo.
Oh, you did a boom boom in your pants.
Oh, that's fine. I'll leave it. You won't care.
You're
no always
idea.
happy.
So they were all for it. So they just basically want everyone to shut up, right? That was the basic hospital thing. So Freeman is now unhappy with the procedure.
Oh, somebody needs to get it.
Because it's taking too long to do.
Wow.
Now, it's weird.
What a cunt.
It's weird that a guy who wasn't trained as a surgeon would be like, oh, this fucking 2 hours of getting it all right.
Drilling
Bullshit.
and cutting.
Cutting the right place, blah, 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 blah.
Not being able to jab around and hit the golf course.
Let's just go through the eye with a spoon.
Just start bashing them with hammers. Be in and out in 45.
Is anybody else bored right now?
Right, show of hands, who thinks this just sucks?
We could be out of here on the golf course.
Just saying, a cold, frosty beer doesn't sound too bad either.
Hear me out. Okay, so he was...
You've got something good.
Well,
you've got something good.
He was like, I wish there was a hole that would allow easier access to the brain.
Oh, fuck me.
So he developed a quicker method,
Oh, Christ.
the so-called ice pick lobotomy,
It's just...
which he performed for the first time on January 17th, 1945. So that's pretty, like, that's the 40s.
Well, the world was so distracted at this point that I guess you could just get away with this shit.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
What do we crank this up?
What is this?
This is his son.
The operation I witnessed was shocking. It was quick, it was easy, and it was diabolical. He lined up two women. A quick. My father went over and tickled the first one in the ribs, so on. She said, "Stop that." He went over and tickled the ribs of the other one. She was paralyzed on the left side.
Okay. So, you look very upset.
I mean, what do you think I'm supposed to look like right now? Happy? I mean, what the fuck? What? First of all, we could lose the jazzy music for that part
was a
at
little
the end.
weird. But you know what? Jazz isn't great.
Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba.
Jazz isn't great to begin with. So maybe
You got to put it to something. That's terrible. That is terrible.
He didn't tell Watts that he had...
Wait, he just is hiding his ice pick method?
Yes.
So this guy's a fucking psycho. This is not a good. This is not somebody we should even be talking about. Like, we should be talking about this criminal, this psychotic criminal.
Yeah. It gets so much better.
Better means worse.
It's always a good sign when you share an office with a guy and one guy's a surgeon and the other guy's not, and the non-surgeon starts performing surgeries and hiding them from the surgeon. That's a good...
Yeah.
That's a good...
That's
it's
the
quicker.
sequence. That's better.
It's quicker.
Hey, what's with that ice pick? Nah? Nothing?
Okay, so... Let's just keep... Hey, you know how I went in there and you can't move on the left side? Let's keep this on the deal. On the deal. Walter Freeman's son, in an interview, said, "We didn't have a refrigerator. We had an ice box, and the first instruments came out of the kitchen drawer, and they worked perfectly. So he literally opened a drawer and went, holy shit, this ice pick would work awesome."
Oh, my God.
And then...
Did it.
Also, he couldn't afford a refrigerator?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if they had them back then.
A lot of red... But no, you must. They probably did if they had a fucking ice pick.
They must have had refrigerators in 1945.
Something.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
they
refrigerators
did.
were in. They had to have had refrigerators in
They were
1945.
past ice boxes or
So he
whatever.
should have had a refrigerator
Yes.
if he was really doing well.
So there was a person who he was like, well, we're going to try the ice pick on you.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, he basically just said, I'm going to try this new thing, and he just went and did it.
And then so what he does is he just puts the ice pick in their fucking...
He goes in through the corner of the eye near your nose and does a little wiggly.
And fucking cuts your brain...
Well, you said cuts his brain. I say it does a wiggly.
Sorry, does a wiggly. What?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, I think you're being a little negative. So, he found he could... Here's what it is. He found he could insert an ice pick above each eye of a patient with only a local anesthetic. So the person's... Okay, what he does was he gives them electroshock therapy, and then they're kind of like, "Gah," and then he puts the ice pick in their eye and does
That's the local anesthetic?
Yeah.
Is electroshock therapy? Because that's not what we call an anesthetic.
I mean, he might have had another anesthetic, but he was using electroshock therapy first so that they would be calm.
Listen, if they had an anesthetic, there's no need for the electroshock therapy.
Okay, look, if you're given a local anesthetic, that means you're still awake. And if someone comes near your eye, even if you have a local anesthetic, you're going to be like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah, and then they're like, well, how about if we just charge you through it with electricity? I'm like, I'll just breathe deep. while you go through my eyeballs, I guess.
Okay, this is gonna hurt so much. Not like a little? No, a fucking lot.
You're gonna feel a huge pinch in your brain.
What's gonna happen is I'm gonna put this in, it's really gonna hurt, and you're gonna scream, and then you're gonna go, duh.
So the last thing you're gonna feel ever is intense horror, fear, and pain.
Then gone.
And then we're gonna go see My Fair Lady.
So he does the local anesthetic. He would drive the ice pick through the bone near the eye and tap it with a mallet. And then he'd swish the pick back and forth like a windshield wiper. Oh, whoosh, whoosh, and voila! Everybody's good. So his new technique could be formed in 10 minutes.
Oh.
Bada boom! Let's get this shit started. We're on a fucking roll, baby. Under 10 lobotomies, $8 each. Get them in here. Line them up.
Come on down! That's
minutes.
crazy.
Now remember, this is in the time when Ford and the assembly line and that kind of shit was the great American thing. So
Sure.
he basically took the culture of America and applied it to surgery.
Oh boy, aren't we putting a little shine on it? He was the Ford of brain mutilation.
Okay, now here's the cool thing.
What's the cool thing?
Because he could use electroshock, he didn't have to do it in a clinical setting. So he didn't have to go to a hospital to do it.
I'm really excited for where he's doing it.
So he started doing them in their office, in their DC office, just like, come on in here, lay down on the table or whatever. So it's
The desk,
whatever's flat.
sure, the floor. Who cares?
Are you sure this is the right way to do it? Yeah, you just get on the table.
You're not going to care about it in 3, 2, snip.
Who am I? Sorry, I didn't do the operation yet, but you know what I'm talking about. So one day, Watts walks into the office to find Freeman cramming an ice pick into someone's eye socket. And he was like, what the fuck are you doing?
What are we doing for lunch?
So, yeah, he was like completely flipped out. And he ended their relationship right there. He's like, you're a fucking madman. This
Yeah.
is not how we do things.
Okay.
I'm a surgeon. Remember the whole studying thing to be a surgeon I did? You're a crazy person.
Okay, I'm on his side.
Freeman was like, you gotta be shitting me. This is so fast. It's fucking awesome. Look at this guy. He's stupid as he can be. It's perfect.
No, Freeman. My God.
I basically turned this guy into an apple. It's great.
Wait, that's not an ice pick?
10 minutes. Okay, seriously, time me.
I'm not going to time you.
Time me. Get the secretary.
It's
I'll
not
do
a
it to her.
game.
Get Barbara in here. I'll do it to her.
Barbara should not
Time
know
me.
about this.
You got a
Nobody should
stopwatch?
know
Do you have a
about this.
stopwatch or just one of those sand things? It's the 40s.
Yeah, I don't think we have a stopwatch yet. Ice from the fridge?
I can do these at Denny's now.
No.
We're in my van. Let's make it happen.
A mobile lobotomy unit. Come on.
Well, then you don't have to have bookmobiles.
Oh, God, yeah. Good.
Plug this back in.
That'll be fine.
So he is.
So things are good. Things are going good.
Well, he's lost his surgical partner, right? So,
No, I wouldn't even say his surgical partner because he's not a surgeon.
but he's lost the guy that does the surgery.
He's lost the surgeon.
Okay, fair enough. So after Watts ended the partnership, he shut down the office.
After he had his little petite mall.
Right. So Freeman was like, well, I'm not stopping this shit. And he took it on the road.
Oh, Christ.
So he bought a van.
I mean, this... Weren't we just doing a hypothetical joke about him being in a van doing this shit? He got a van? Lobotomobile.
He bought a van. Yeah.
Boy.
I wish I was kidding. He called it the Lobotomobile.
Shut the fuck up! Shut up!
He did. He called it a Lobotomobile.
The Lobotomobile.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. How the fuck are these things slipping through the fucking cracks?
I hope it had like an ice cream.
Oh yeah,
Like just going through. Hey, the Lobotomobille's here. Who wants a lobotomy?
All right, kids, what do you guys want?
I want an ice cream sandwich
Oh,
and then
snip. All right, who's next?
So he would pull up to insane asylums, and people would fucking line up for lobotomies.
People being the patients?
The patients.
I don't understand how they... Why
Well,
would...
So the lobotomy...
Is it because they don't know that there's a huge downside yet and that they might die? Right. It's because
Everyone's
of the
just
shine.
like, this looks great.
It's because it's called a lobotomobile. It sounds fun.
Oh, yeah, and he's honking his horn and wearing a fun hat. Like,
Hey!
done 19 to myself. It's great.
Glitter!
Glitter. You're going to love this when it's over. Glitter. So, yeah. So, it's just... So, he's cruising around the country. He's stopping off at hospitals to perform the operation. The patients are lining up. People thought it would help, right? Because they're all patients. The word is that it helps. Doctors were all for it. So, that's the big thing. The reason people are lining up is because the doctors are like, this is going to be awesome because you'll stop punching me at the hospital. So
nice doctors.
So could you imagine being in the back of the lobotomy line and you're like, oh God, I hope I get there in time.
Oh my God.
Oh, I just want to get lobotomized.
Oh, hurry
Why
up.
did I get here in
Hurry
time?
up.
I had to go potty.
No.
What do you mean I can't get lobotomy today? God damn it.
All this thinking. Driving me crazy.
One year he went back and forth across the United States 11 times, hitting up all the insane asylums he could.
He belongs in one. I mean, 11, what is he doing?
He was also flamboyant, self-advertising, and grandiose.
Man, I know we say this every Dollop, but there's just such a movie here.
Oh my God. So he started getting like all showmany.
Oh,
like he turned into like the Liberace of lobotomies.
Oh, that's great.
So to mix things up, he would perform lobotomies right-handed and then left-handed.
Now,
and sometimes two hands at once.
Now,
so he would put the.
He's like a bartender.
It's like Tom Cruise.
He's cocktail. Yeah, he's like slinging them. Lobotomies and dreams.
So he's right-handed, and he's like, look, I can do him left-handed. And sometimes he'd put ice picks in both heads and then bang him at the same time. And swish him around. Hey, holy shit, that one's paralyzed.
Hey, whoops, both are dead.
Don't know, that didn't work out.
Probably should just stick with my good hand. So this was not like in front of people that he was doing.
Okay, yeah.
This is like a spectacle, like a show. He's like lobotomizing people in front of people, and he's using his two hands, and he's
showing off,
and he's got flair.
He's showing off for the crowd. He's like a magician at this point. He's like fucking David Copperfield.
Except his one trick is cutting brains, and it sometimes doesn't have a ta-da.
Oh, that one's a ta-die.
Ta-dead. We got one ta-da, one ta-dead. What the fuck?
He would use ordinary carpenter's mallets instead of surgical hammers.
Oh, good. For hygiene.
Crowds would show up. The press would show up. And he always played for the crowd instead of the formal approval of his colleagues.
Any requests?
Can you bang the ice pick with your forehead?
What?
Done.
I don't want to lobotomize myself. Nice try, sir. Wham! Wham!
You'd see him with like 4 patients lined up, and he just runs down the line. Bada bang, bada bang, bada bang, bada bang.
Xylophone. Boom, 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 boom. All right.
That was Stairway to Heaven, you guys. You guys catch that?
This one's the Dollop. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, fuck.
Horrible.
Once he killed the patient, when he carelessly stepped back to pose for a photograph during the operation.
Oh, my God.
Hey-o, camera.
By the way,
did a little smile, came back.
This is not iPhone cameras either. There's a good delay in the posing.
The big flash.
Yeah, don't move. Oh, God, it's all in her brain. She'll be fine. How do I look?
He let his ice pick slip too deep into the patient's brain. And he's like...
So he drove an ice pick through a human's brain.
Yeah, but someone was taking a photo, so he had to...
So you got to pose.
So he had to turn and pose.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Can...
Held up his Twitter handle on a sign.
You know, can we do another photo where I don't kill the guy?
Is
Well, I
that
don't-
guy dead?
Well, yeah, we'll get another guy.
We've got lots.
But I would like to
guys.
do a different photo.
Sure, we'll do
where
one more.
I'm not killing the guy.
Great.
Okay.
It could be natural too. You don't need to pose.
I don't know. I think I should have I think I should be doing it.
Okay.
And I also need to look at the camera.
Okay.
I need to make eye contact with
It's
the camera.
really good stuff we're doing here.
I have beautiful eyes, and I think
Great
I think
eyes.
my eyes would be wasted if they're looking at the surgery.
Yeah. That man's dead.
He's better.
Okay. Cool.
He's a better guy.
Cool.
Driving from town to town, looking for people to lobotomize,
In the lobotomobile.
was what he called the head and shoulder hunt.
This guy is fucking. This is not a good man.
He's a monster, right?
He's an absolute monster.
Yeah, he would have been perfect with the Nazis. He's like
He would have
Mengele.
absolutely.
Yeah. He claimed that time
Isn't
passed.
this happening around World War II?
Yeah, this is 1945. This is right.
That's
he's
why
doing
it's
this.
okay.
He's doing this to soldiers.
Do you
who
think
came
he was
back.
just so desensitized? People are so fucking people.
I can't give. He started doing it before the war. This isn't like it.
I just can't imagine that.
He claimed that time passed more swiftly when he was head and shoulder hunting. So it's so boring when I'm driving around
He
looking at
says
national
it,
parks and
yeah.
stuff. If I got to drive all day and see like a buffalo or whatever natural stuff, it's just boring compared to when I can just jab an ice pick into someone's head.
What a prick. He really is saying that.
Yeah.
It passes the time for me. It makes the days fly by for me.
You know what just makes a day just fly by is when I can just put an ice pick in like 9 guys' heads.
I was swamped. I had to ice pick 30 brains.
Not boring though. They went by like that. Oh, we should lobotomize you.
No, it was just a sneeze.
I don't think so.
No, I'm fine.
So he started having his assistants time him to see if he could break his lobotomy speed records.
I know that you want me to say something. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to tell you how fucking crazy that is.
And Reggie, go. Tap, 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 swish, 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 swish. Boom! Boom, what was it?
You did it!
Yeah!
15 seconds! Woo! And this one actually only looks paralyzed.
Oh, yeah, but we did it, right?
You
we
killed
fucking
it.
did it. I did
Literally
kill it.
killed it.
I did.
Literally a man's
I guess
dead.
he's literally killed. But
Dead man.
But time-wise.
Woo! You flew!
He started performing the operation in a production line manner.
What? You mean... keep going. I'm sorry.
Like Ford's assembly line.
He lined him up.
Yes.
What a fucking prick.
He once lobotomized 25 women in a single day. So they were just like, bring in the next one. Tap, 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 tap. Bring in the next one. Tap, tap. So they're like coming through on gurneys.
Oh, God.
Like the way in an assembly line, a guy would just stand at the
Like
line.
the way they kill
and
cows.
the car would come
Yeah.
in front of him and he'd put like something on it. Bumper, 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 bumper. And so he's doing that
Yeah.
but with human beings and lobotomies.
Oh, God.
He performed up to 110 lobotomies a week.
That's just crazy.
Journalists were often present on his tours of hospitals so that his appearance would end up on the front page of the local newspaper. He was also featured in highly popular publications at the time, such as Time magazine and Life magazine, and often these news stories exaggerated the success of lobotomy in alleviating the symptoms. So everybody was in on it. The magazines were like, let's not take the picture of the dead one. Let's take the picture of the lady that's smiling. So they were all
Yeah.
like, this is her before, look at her
They like
after.
the story.
Yeah, and everyone's like, so everyone reading it is like, they're like Fox News. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
well, this is amazing. You know, it's all fake.
Right.
Everyone is doing bullshit stories on the lobotomy.
Fluff pieces on brain cutting.
Yeah.
Right. At the time.
So he is the first celebrity lobotomist.
Is it safe to say he's the only?
He started wearing a wide-brimmed hat,
Oh, my God.
carrying a cane,
Oh, boy.
and he had a briefcase in which he kept his instruments, and he got a gold-plated ice pick.
Oh, my God. He's like in a John Woo movie.
But now he's like the prince of lobotomy.
Yeah. A gold pit. I mean, really, the balls. Granted, he's just like nobody's saying stop.
Or the guy he went in to get it. Gold-plated was like, you want to do what?
I needed a gold ice pick because I'm the lobotomy man.
You see what I do, right? So this silver shit ain't working for me.
I'm Lobotarachi.
He became known for his captivating style. When presenting to his colleagues,
he didn't.
When he presented to his colleagues, he loved to shock them. He proudly wrote in his diaries when his fellow professionals attending the operations fainted or vomited.
Oh my god! What?
Oh my god!
What?
So great, Dr. Larry Jenkins today. First vomited and then passed out in his own vomit.
Dear diary, nailed it again. Literally.
Literally turned a patient into a cucumber, made 7 doctors throw up.
Let's just say I killed 9 people and a bunch of my colleagues have chastised me and fainted. Because that's what actually happened today.
It's called winning. That's what that's called.
Hashtag ice picking.
I'm going to frame my ice pick. Freeman was single-handedly responsible for the success of lobotomy in America.
Which was not successful.
But it was successful in terms of it being
in a horrible
done.
time, yeah.
Yeah, but it was as far as the fad of lobotomies goes.
Yeah, he was the king of a horrible fad.
Okay.
Hitler was the king of killing Jews.
He possessed the skills, academic credentials, and personal characteristics required for such a medical breakthrough. He was the master of exploiting the press and the contemporary environment.
Can we just kill the press?
His technique was adopted in elite institutions. So now everyone's seen it, and now everyone's doing it. So they're all over the country. Everyone's like, I can get an ice pick and scramble a brain. So now it's just picking up.
Makes the day fly by too.
It's going like wildfire. Plus, you're in a hospital, and some guy's screaming at you, and you're like, okay, I have a headache. I'm tired.
I have a headache. You're gonna have a headache.
Hey, Screamy Jimmy, can you come in this room over here? Tippity tap tap tap. Oh, it's so nice in here right now. My headache's gone.
Want to watch the game? Yeah, you do.
So he's now traveling across the country teaching the technique to groups of psychiatrists. So he's doing he's teaching surgery to groups of psychiatrists, even though he is not a surgeon.
He's not a surgeon.
He's not a surgeon.
And he's teaching it to psychiatrists
Who aren't surgeons generally, I don't think.
So that is where it goes, right? Then they start.
Yes.
Psychiatrists are performing surgery.
Yeah, so then people who are not qualified to do it are doing it all over the place.
Because now it's just like, hey, you just got to get a little tippy tap tap.
Yeah, a tippity tap.
Tippity tap 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 tap.
Freeman happily performed ice pick lobotomies on anyone who was referred to him. During his career, he performed...
What if someone went there for they were like, it was for my foot.
Wait.
Oh, no. No!
During his career, he would perform almost 3,500 operations. Oh, my God. Some of his patients could return to work. Those guys, I do not fucking know. I cannot even begin to understand. Maybe he just missed the things he was supposed to be cutting.
Well, I don't know. It seems pretty exact what he's doing. I feel like he'd hit it perfectly every time.
While others were left in something of a vegetative state.
Yeah.
I cannot get over the guys who went back. Hey, what'd you do this weekend, Jimmy?
Man, I'll tell you the craziest shit in the world happened.
What's
I
up?
got lobotomized.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, what do I need to? Which documents do I need to sign over here? These are.
none.
What did you and Kathy do? Did you guys end up going to the
We
lake?
went to a ball game, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That is great. Well, I'll see ya. I better hit the John. Am I right?
I might get a lobotomy every weekend. I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
So all of the New York Times, Newsweek, Reader's Digest were all reporting positively on the lobotomy, and so the American public loved the idea of the lobotomy. It was like, this is the fucking shiznit.
It's just the same. It really isn't. It just like the same sort of thing over and over again. Like, we'll just buy into
Some bullshit.
Because everybody's like, it's great.
It's the same thing as like
Iraq.
It's the same thing as Iraq.
Yeah.
But it's also the same thing as like the cookie diet.
Yeah.
Like, it's all
Right.
this nonsense fucking shit that we're always thinking will
Just
make
all
us
this-
better.
yeah.
And it's the same thing as like kale is now the new superfood. And
Yeah.
everyone's like, get kale.
Yeah.
And then the next week, you're like, oh, now it's watercress. And it's
Eat
just-
more eggs. Don't eat eggs.
That's-
only eggs.
That's all this is.
Yeah.
And so everyone's jumping on board.
Seriously on board. But this is even more.
People are coming in. I have a cold.
Yeah.
Could you do the tappity
I broke
tap?
my thumb. Can you lobotomize me?
So there was really no objective analysis of the scientific revolt. Like, so no one was like doing like, well, this doesn't really work.
Devil's advocate.
Hold on now. I was just counting, and I'm seeing thousands of dead people and paralyzed and whatnot.
Cured.
Fair enough.
All are cured.
Fair.
Thank you.
Freeman also operated on people who were clearly afflicted by psychological disorders. But this was not always the case. Some patients underwent the procedure for reasons such as alcoholism.
What the fuck?
I cannot stop with the drinky.
Let's cut your brain in half.
Or bad behavior.
Oh my god.
Or simply because they were perceived as mentally disturbed. He even operated on a 12-year-old boy, Howard Dully, whose stepmother didn't like him and wanted his personality changed. He was basically a normal kid, and she had him lobotomized. He's still alive. He wrote an article on the UK Guardian.
It's called.
No, he didn't know he was lobotomized.
He was fine.
He went on as a functioning person, but he had no idea he had been lobotomized. And he didn't find out until he was like 45. And he's
then-
like a bus driver.
What?
That's how we make bus drivers.
Wait. So how did he find out?
I don't know how he found out, but at one point he was like, "Wait, I'm sorry, what? You said what? Wait, you said what happened when I
Your
was-"
lobe is cut.
Also, he also performed a lobotomy on Rosemary Kennedy.
Wow.
Rosemary was said to have been considered "quote unquote" retarded by members of her family, but that
Sweeties.
assessment has been widely disputed by subsequent analysis. Some concluded that Rosemary may not have been as brilliant as other members of her family, but she was a functioning person. She kept a diary. She had an active social life. She was reported to have violent mood swings and a stormy personality.
So, yeah.
In 1941, when she was 23, her father, Joseph Kennedy, was told by doctors that a new procedure would help calm her mood swings that the family was finding difficult to handle. Her father gave permission. He performed the frontal lobotomy. This was Freeman and Watts at the time. After the surgery, Rosemary was reduced to an infantile mentality that left her incontinent and staring blankly at walls for hours. Her verbal skills were reduced to unintelligible babble. She was institutionalized. That was in 41. To the most
Yeah,
famous
the
family
Kennedys.
in America.
Yeah.
And the newspapers still acted like it was fucking awesome.
That's crazy.
Right?
It's crazy. I don't know. That's
So
crazy.
then-
you would think that this would not be okay. You really think that, like, I can't imagine seeing somebody like brain dead and being like, better. You're a hero.
We done it.
You're a hero, sir.
So then the endeth come. 1954. So he's been doing this for, 10 years. A new drug, Thorazine, came out.
Drug. A pill.
A pill.
A shot.
Marketed as a chemical lobotomy. So the way to market the pill was to act like it was as good as the Mixie Mix.
Good. Stop this monster.
So it was given to 2 million patients, and it was very successful.
Yeah.
Not a lot of dying.
Yeah, not a lot of irreversible damage.
Suddenly, Freeman was no longer invited to state institutions.
Oh boy, poor guy.
All of a sudden, people started talking about the negative effects of lobotomies.
I'd love to hear some. Haven't heard any yet.
I haven't heard any either. Protests started,
Whoa. What?
and serious research supported the protesters. Statistics showed that a third of lobotomy patients improved, a third stayed the same, and a third got worse. Suddenly, it became difficult for Freeman to leave an inexperienced psychiatrist alone with a patient just to catch a holiday flight. So he used to like go in and go, yeah, that's how you do it. I got to get out of here. So the lobotomy fad is over.
It's like disco.
Just like the cookie fad. It is just like disco. Just like Iraq.
Lobotomy sucks.
All cool things come to an end.
Yeah. Eventually people are like, wait, slavery's horrible. You know what I just realized?
But not for Freeman.
Oh.
He did not want to give up the lobotomy. So he moved to California, where we love...
Hey, what's new, man?
The fucking the leaders of anti-vax people are like, hey, what's really shitty for me that sounds good? So he began pushing lobotomies on depressed housewives who didn't feel like their lives were amounting to much. So he's like, are you in the house just feeling sad?
Sick of doing dishes.
Yeah. I'm on cutting your brain. He eventually performed lobotomies on children.
God, he's just scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Patients with terminal cancer. What? Really?
Well, I mean,
guess
to
if they're
some
terminal-
degree, like I can understand that a little bit more because you're
It brings
like,
relief because they're...
well, it's
brain dead?
finite. You're dealing like you maybe are going to go through something horrible soon.
Yeah.
But at that point, I'd rather die. But I
it's
could
not-
understand somebody being like,
But there's no medical reason to do it.
no, there's no medical connection to curing cancer and cutting your brain at all. No. I mean, there's no real medical connection to lobotomize.
No, this is going to do the trick.
They're not going to do anything.
Hey, trust.
Trust.
Look at Walty. Look Walty in the eyes.
Hey,
Trust.
Walty's blinking.
Trust.
I
Trust Walty.
don't trust Walty.
He lobotomized 19 children under the age of 18, including a 4-year-old.
What a fucking asshole.
He's a monster at this point.
A monster.
A fucking 4-year-old. Now he's just... now he should be executed. Now he's a fucking monster.
An unfocused 4-year-old.
He was selling lobotomies to people for $25 a pop.
God, they're hand jobs. They're back alley hand jobs. Hey, man, I'll suck your dick for a fucking... Yeah, crack rock. Suck your dick for... I'll lobotomize you in the alley for $25 real quick.
Yeah, you can do a lobotomy in a bathroom. You can do a lobotomy in a bathroom.
Put this box over your head. Here we go. Clank, clank, clank goes the trolley. Later.
Hey, get another beer.
All right, $25. Pretty good money, though. Right back in that, right? I mean, that's a pretty solid
Yeah,
job.
that's not bad, I guess.
Bad. For murdering.
In 1967, 67.
God.
67.
Peace and love. Who wants their brain cut?
So he's been doing... So since the fad ended in 54, he's been doing lobotomies for
13 rogue years.
another 13 years in
Yeah.
California. Just fucking axing people up. He performed a lobotomy on one of his patients in Berkeley, California. He severed a blood vessel, and the patient died 3 days later.
Yeah.
This was the end of Walter Freeman's lobotomy spree. His medical license was revoked.
It was
Fucking
now.
now it was revoked. And
That's it.
now, okay, the 4-year-old was one thing, but this
Listen.
guy, you killed. Okay, this is maybe like the 1,000th guy you've killed, but you killed the last one.
You've probably murdered about 1,700 people, but this one was just graphic. You're not a doctor anymore.
Over the line.
Yep. By the way, you were never a doctor. You were a man with a toolkit. You had an ice pick and a mallet.
You're what we call a contractor.
You had an ice pick, a mallet, and a dream, okay? You can go to Home Depot.
So during the last 5 years of his life, he performed no more lobotomies. He died from cancer in 1972 at the age of 76.
He really should have been lobotomized.
But here's the crazy thing. Freeman was one of the very few psychiatrists who believed that mental illness had a physical, biological component, which is what is believed
Sure.
now. So okay, hold on.
No.
So in some ways, the lobotomy led to Thorazine, which led to all of the stuff we have now, which helps people.
Don't do
No,
this.
you have to do it because
might be
it was the
right.
fucking Dark Ages, and he
But-
was doing a horrible thing.
Yes.
But did in the end, was he a guy who may have ended up
Yes.
saving more people?
Yes to that, probably, but fuck off. That is bullshit. Because He could have. That could have so. Okay, Thorazine was created. He didn't fuck off. He didn't fuck off.
But Thorazine,
he didn't stop.
You're right. No, you're right
went
about
rogue.
that. Well, he had a
problem.
Well, he also had a gold-plated ice pick, and he had a
was
nice
hooked.
hat.
He was jonesing.
He had a lobotomy mobile. What's he supposed to do? Just who's going to buy that now? He's still got a lease on it.
What were you doing in here? Huh? Making keys? You in or out?
But so he was one of the few guys who thought that there was a physical. So he yeah.
So, okay, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
He had he believed something that was maybe not widely believed.
Right.
However, we cannot defend a man who took his fucking lobotomy business on the road like hair tonic in the 1800s and is selling people a song and dance and using jazz hands while cutting brains. Just can't happen. It's not okay.
Check this out. I can balance an ice pick on my nose while I lobotomize these two guys. You guys, this is going to be great.
That's my husband.
Who has the clown wig?
I mean, you can picture Bill Murray playing this guy.
Oh my God. Could you make this into a movie? Because it's so horrifying.
You probably could. It would probably not do well.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're okay. You know, I got a way to stop this.
Yeah.
You just put a little ice pick in the dog's eyeball.
Oh, yeah. Hey, do you want an ice pick?
Just give a little lobotomy.
Do you want an ice pick in your brain?
Lobotomy. Cut your brain. Gonna cut your brain a little, so you shut up. Yeah, I'll cut that brain.
So, how do you feel? This is
Not
probably
good.
This is our darkest one.
This is horrible.
Well,
this is,
because
since the vampire one, Vampire Heart one.
I'm going to pick this up.
All right, pick it up. Since the Vampire Heart one, this is by far the Vampire Heart one is similar in the sense that you just can't believe, and there's shit that we're doing now that people are going to look back on and be like, the fuck was wrong with them?
Yeah.
But you can't believe there was a time when these things were okay at all.
No, they shouldn't be.
Never.
They should never be.
Never.
But again, when you have a circumstance where you're desperate, which they were in those hospitals, right? They're desperate.
Yeah, true.
So they needed an answer, and some guy provided them with one,
Look,
horrific as it was.
Yes, I understand they had a stressful work environment.
Okay, so now I want to talk about Hitler.
No! I wake up, and the dog's on board. The dog's like, you wake up!
Well, the dog does not like lobotomies.
No, the dog needs one. I'll tell you what, though, for all the potential noises, it's pretty good that that was it. Could have been worse.
Yeah. Oh no,
we dodged a lot of bullets.
We did dodge a lot. But the dog. So we're gonna end this with the dog barking. Hey, shh.
At this point,
Lobotomy. Lobotomy.
that should be the dog's name.
Lobotomy.
If you got a Labrador, named it Labrador.
This is exactly what it's like. It's this like lobotomizing. This dog should be lobotomized.
So instead of having the joy and emotion that the dog is, the dog's expressing nerves or whatever it is right now.
Right.
We can throw that all out.
Look,
Kit and caboodle.
okay, so we're trying to do something right now, right? We're trying to get something accomplished.
And there's just this.
And there's like this screaming
It doesn't
thing,
understand,
and it's bothering.
it's not listening.
Right, it's not listening. You can't get it to calm down because it thinks it's protecting the house.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So we could take care of this by just snippity snip.
I think we just did
Just a bang, bang, snippity snip,
I think we do
tappity
a
tap.
bang, bang, snip, snip, tap, tap. And I think we'll be fine.
And then
Worst case scenario, bleeds out in your son's playroom.
hey, Dad, what's wrong with the dog? You know what?
Daddy fixed it.
Daddy fixed him.
Daddy fixed the dog good.
He's not going to bark anymore.
He won't bark at you,
No
and he's
more
still fun to
barking.
play with.
Yeah, he's going to be great. Good doggy dog. Oh, look at him. He just lays there like a rug.
Oh,
He just lays there like
look
a
at him. He's been
rug.
dead for days. Look at him. Oh.
Well, I'm sorry I had to tell you this.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry too. And I mean,
They're not. It's the American history is not always pretty, and sometimes we're gonna have to
it's
go into some
disgusting.
dark. Sometimes we're gonna have to go into some dark shit.
It's disgusting. This is disgusting.
This is the worst one yet.
The worst.
Yeah.
But the comedian in me is excited to think of the movie. Because fucking A. That is amazing.
All right,
All right.
we're all done. I hope everybody's happy.
Nobody's happy. I speak for everyone
Yeah.
when I say nobody's happy.
Well, there's someone out there out of Lobotomy that's probably pretty happy.
Yeah, that guy. The Dollop fan listening to the Lobotomy.
Dollop fan.
episode.
I got one, like.
Here's an idea for a Dollop. Here's some art.
Here's an idea for a dollop. It's a picture of a flower.
Do it. Alrighty.
All right, well, we tried.
We tried.